Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today, Monday, May the 23rd. Let me just put the disclaimers up there on the top left-hand side of the screen. Please read them, even if you need to pause the video to do so. Now, just to highlight different places you can go if you have questions, and then we'll get into the 3D market commentary. You have two different email addresses here. You have Becky@tradewithufos.com and support@tradewithufos.com. So two different email addresses you can use. There's also this link here, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. Now that will take you to this link. Now this page is a page where you've got loads of help and resources and support all in the same place. So you can book one-on-one coaching with me if you'd like to. Otherwise, you can get apps and courses and group coaching. You can check out our live trading sessions and see when they're going to be. You can track our trades. This will be being used very soon. Track our trades that we place in our sessions. And if you scroll down, you've got a question and answer section here as well. So lots of help from the same place, or you can email me. Okay, so let's now get into that 3D market commentary itself. So we send out an email every day, Monday to Friday, as we see here on the left-hand side. That email has information on major world markets, and we look at three major statistical elements per market. That's why we call it a 3D market commentary, or a 3D approach. So here are the three different elements that we look at. So we have market climate, which is essentially where that market is likely to move. Is it likely to go up? Is it likely to go down? Or is it not likely to go in either direction? So we want to know the answer to that. And we use an app to help us called AutoClimate, which is a free app on most platforms that you can get it on. And AutoClimate shows us where the probabilities lie with these little dots. Now we ignore the lines and just focus on the dots for now. As we go through, I'll show you what they are, by the way. Buy and sell UFOs is the second element that we look at. Unfilled orders, that's what UFO stands for. Unfilled orders are where we have buyers waiting to buy that could push price up, or sellers waiting to sell that could push price down. We want to know where they are because that gives us an idea of where we should be buying and selling from as well. So we use another app, it's called Auto UFOs, and it shows us with the green UFOs where the buyers are, and with the red UFOs where the sellers are. So again, we'll look at that per market. Then we'll look at market volatility, which is essentially how quickly we expect the markets to move. So we'll look at each of those elements per market, and we're going to be looking at a daily time frame or daily chart for each market. Of course, different things happen on different time frames, but what we're looking at is relevant to a daily time frame. Now we're starting with the S&P 500, which is the top 500 US stocks, and we will start there. Let me just get rid of that. There we go. So S&P 500, top 500 US stocks, we see with AutoClimate a thick red dot. That tells us probability is to the downside. That market is more likely to move down. Now we have sellers up here between 4153.25 to 4062. They've already worked to push price down already. Price came in, hit the sellers, and was pushed down from there. That's why we want to know where they are, so we get an idea of where we might sell from too. We have buyers, but they're not for a little way. So those are between 34.80 to 33.19. Overall, closer to the sellers in a climate that's more likely to go downwards. Overall, probability down here for the S&P 500. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 year on the S&P of 29.54%. So in a day, that's 73.16 points. In a week, 161.05 points. And in a month, 335.26 points. So that's what we'd expect in terms of movement up or down. Overall, for the time being, probability to the downside with the S&P. So the next market, let's scroll down, is crude oil. So let's load this. Here we go. And squish it. There we go. So we see what we need to see. So before we look at crude oil, just to highlight here, about the different courses that we offer. We do courses in futures, forex, stocks, backtesting, trading plans, and psychology. Now, if you need help in any one of those things, of course, the courses can help. But also, the courses come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps that we use. AutoClimate, which is this one that shows us the likely direction of the market. That's a free app on most platforms you can use it on. With Auto UFOs, which is this one that shows us the buyers and the sellers. This is a paid for monthly subscription, which you can subscribe to directly. You don't have to have a course in order to use them, but often it makes more sense to do a course and get 3 months for free than it would be to just use the apps for 3 months. Works out cheaper. So check that out, see what works best for you. The crude oil, thin dot, doesn't matter the color. If it's a thin dot on AutoClimate, that tells us not enough probability in either direction. Don't do anything. There's no need to just yet. Now we're coming into sellers, or on our way. They are between 130.5 to 115.54. So if we were to hit these sellers soon, we'd expect that they might push price down. Again, they already have. Price came in last week, hit the sellers and was pushed down. So wouldn't be surprised to see that happen again. For the time being, though, we've still got a little way to go before we get there. We have buyers all the way down here at 80.47 to 77.83. So overall, nothing to be doing at the moment on a daily chart of oil. In terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 year on oil of 50.72%. So in a day, 3.56 points. In a week, 7.84 points. And in a month, 16.31 points. So that is crude oil. Now the next market is gold. There we go. Let's load gold. Lovely. Let me see what we need to see there. Now, just before we look at gold, just to highlight about the coaching and support that's on offer. As we saw at the start of the video, there's loads of help and support and resources from that link, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. But you'll also find a bunch of videos that you can access for free on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. You can also email us. You've got the chat support. You've got different forums and things within our website. Lots is available for free. We also have an advanced coaching membership where you can join and you have access to live trading videos and more resources. So check that out if you want to. So coming back to gold, we have a thin dot again. Not enough probability either way. Not sure what it's doing. Now that's because we had probability down for ages. Price was moving down, and then new buyers came in between 1834.8 to 1785. So wouldn't be surprised if price continues upwards if we start to see confirmation to the upside, but not for the time being. We do have sellers, but they're further away, between 2003 to 1962.7. So overall, not enough probability either way, but keep an eye on it tomorrow. We may see it confirmed to the upside. With volatility, we would expect movement up or down in 1 year of 19.31%. In a day, that's 22.64 points. In a week, 49.84 points. And in a month, 103.76 points. So that's gold. The next market is the US dollar. So let's load this. And to remind you, we're talking about probabilities here, right? We're not talking about guarantees. Unfortunately, nobody knows 100% what's going to happen in the markets, but we want to make sure that we make decisions based on statistical probabilities. So that's what we're looking at here. You may add extra layers on top of this to improve your probabilities. Either way, we still need to manage our risk just in case we're wrong. Okay, so coming back to the US dollar. We have a thick red dot probability to the downside here with the US dollar. We have buyers here between 100.675 to 99.81. We have sellers up here between 105.065 to 104.5. We're kind of in the middle. So unlikely that either stack of buyers or sellers will affect us today. Overall, likelihood to the downside coming from the climate there. In terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 year of 9.39%. So in a day, 0.6 points. In a week, 1.33 points. And in a month, 2.77 points. That's the US dollar. Now the next market, last but not least, is bakkt Bitcoin. So let's have a look at this. Now, just before we have a look at that, just to highlight about our platform, commonly known as TOP, stands for Predictive Options Planner. So if you're an options trader, it's especially helpful because of exclusive options apps that we have integrated into the platform. But even if you don't trade options, so like me, I trade stocks, futures, and Forex, then you can use the platform for analysis purposes because it has our apps integrated into it. It's really user-friendly as well. So check that out, see what works best for you. Okay, bakkt Bitcoin. Big red dot, probability to the downside. And we have sellers here between 36,445 to 35,525. We also have buyers down here between 23,737.5 to 22,910. So again, unlikely that we will hit either of the buyers or sellers today, more likely that price comes down based on the climate. In terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 year on Bitcoin of 82.91%. So in a day, that's up or down of roughly 1,600 points. In a week, up or down of roughly 3,500 points. And in a month, up or down of roughly 7,300 points. Okay, so that's each of our markets. We've looked at 5 separate markets, and for each of them, we've looked at 3 elements, 3 statistical elements that help us figure out what we should be doing as traders and where the probabilities lie. Now we want to look at our weekly economic calendar, which we get from fxstreet.com. We filter by high impact news because we want to know which scheduled news reports may affect the markets that we're trading and increase volatility. So at 12:15 p.m. Eastern time today, we have some news coming out that may affect the British pound and British markets. At 6:45 p.m. Eastern time today, we have some news coming out that may affect the New Zealand dollar or New Zealand markets. So be aware of that if you trade in those markets. If you have any questions, you can email me, becky@tradewithufos.com, or otherwise, you have this link here, tradewithufos.com/Becky, where you have apps, courses, coaching, one-on-one coaching that you can book if you'd like. Track our trades that we place, that will come soon. Question and answer section and a chat box as well. So lots of help from this link if you need it. As today is Monday, I will wish you guys a great start to your trading week and a great start to your trading day. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.